This is an announcement from the Reichsministry. Germans who wish to use firearms should join the SS or the Schutzstaffel or the Secret Service or the SA or the Sturmabteilung or the Secret Army or the Sturmabteilung or the SA or the brown shirts. Ordinary citizens don't need guns as the having guns does not serve the state or does not serve the Heimlich Himmler. Hi blokes, hi Sheilas. I don't think the people should have guns unless they are the police or in the military or security industry. Ordinary citizens should not have weapons to defend themselves. John Bastard Howard. As a British citizen, does that have any echoes? Is there any single speech that our politicians know? Is there any single thing? Have they said, well, this is what what's his name? Make the day law. Robert Gallon Jones, BBC, and yeah, that other fella, Ewan something or other. Well, it's all BBC, it's all ITV, it's all Channel 4, Channel 5. I mean, it's all over the place. Okay. Let's have a little bit of a rerun of a history. Okay. Let's have a little bit of a rerun. I like it. That's one thing. When I was in school, let's have a little bit of a recap. Let's have a open our minds. Let's remember what we did and what we came over. Okay. Okay. Let's go to my notepad. This is a bit of a wear over. Notepad. Okay, we've got a lot of things on here, and it is huge. So huge. I don't know where to go. Yes. There's some reality. I've got something from previous years. Reality check on gun murder in the Americas. Piers Morgan shows once again to in his way of off. Let's have a look at what he wants to look at. His way of what he wants to look at. Okay. Piers Morgan said there are only 35 gun murders, not in comparison with war crimes, with crimes against citizens in 2011, which is 15 years ago, which had 11,000 in 2011. Once again, the stats are wrong according to the FBI stats. In 2011, which are 12,664 in the US and 868,565 were caused by firearms. This is what he says. Right, okay. But those were justifiable homicides by law enforcement was 260. Okay. Homicide by private citizens was totaling at 7,923. That is 300 and 3,077 less than Piers Morgan. So Great Britain is 62.6 million had 55 or 59 gun-related homicides in the UK, not in Piers Morgan's claims that is 35. Great Britain was 69, so it's only lowered by 10 shootings. Lowered by 10 shootings, so what are they going to report on? So what they're going to do this and what they're going to do for that time period. So if they're going to they say, well, they're lowering this and lowering that, so are they saying that to appease people? Okay. Load it by 10 shootings, so you'll have, like, say, 59 or 35. Take, so you got around about 33. Or 34. So the US, but crime went through the roof in Great Britain, to at least. Yeah, so that is going from 313 million people over 300 million guns. So crime didn't go through the roof when it had 313 million people over 300 million people. So that is wrong, because basically the crime is very low, because it's around about 2% or around about 3.1%, or depends where you do it. Okay. Yeah, Britain was only 69, it says 58. Yeah, it was 69. and they load by 10, which is around about 59. Average 88 guns per people in, that is, for gun ownership in the world is Yemen, which is the second highest with 5.54. So that is guns per 100 people. So if you times that, you got like around about 5 million. So why isn't the Yemenis taking on the Yemeni government, which is run by Saudi Arabia, which has had its role in 9/11, and also Israel that had its role in 9/11, and also the others that had their role in 9/11. So why isn't the people of Yemen taking their fight back against the against this criminal government? Also, in Syria, you've got various things with CIA, MI6. Well, MI6 ran CIA back rebels. You got them fighting against each other. Then you got them coming into Europe, and then you got the banning guns in many areas of Europe, and then you got other things in Britain. You're banning guns, and that is that the other. And you got the psyops, you got the black ops, you got every single thing in that area. So okay, we got the gist of it, and we're war gaming it at the moment. So in Yemen, which is 5.84 so per 100, so roughly got around about 5 million in that area. Has the highest. What does that mean? US has the highest gun murder in the world? No. Honduras. Jamaica has the highest rates than the US, and the US and 28 highest gun homicides, which is 2.97. Which I said, well, okay, if it's 2.97 divide, so times that by, you got around about at least 7 in that area. So if you divide 7 by 3, you got 2, and then you've got that, and then you've got the population gap, and then you divide that by 50,000 miles, and you got you got 2.4 or 2.8, and then you boil it down, so you got around about 2.1 per square mile. So you divide that by 300, so you got around about 700 in that area. Okay. Is 100,000 is per 100,000 people. So okay, times that, you've got at least 2 million. So you've got really bad gun laws there. Being number one in gun ownership, we are only 28 in gun homicides, but Piers Morgan wants to be like Great Britain, which is the second highest overall rate in the European Union. Has the highest and has the 5th highest in robbery, the 4th highest in burglary, and has the most violent, is the most violent country in the EU, and has at least 2,034 crimes per 100,000. So if you times that by 6, you got at least times that, you got at least 6. Times that, times that by 6, you got 12. So if you put 12, so you roughly got a 50. So you roughly got a 50, 60%, 40%, because it went up 40% since 2008. So okay. South Africa has at least 1,600 109 crimes per 100,000 times that, you got at least 16 million. Note, even US is in the top 10 in violent crimes. That's a bit of a thing. Not even if they're in the top 10s. So, if you look at it, the US has crimes in other areas. So, if you look at the US in medical errors, it's around about 177,000 by medical errors. So you've got people dying of 177. So if you divide that by 300 million, so you roughly got about 5 per 300,000, right? 3 or 600,000. So if you look at the United States, if you have 80% of 11,200 crimes per 100,000, which is committed against others, and it's 80%, which you've got 8,000. So if you divide that by 300 million, so you roughly got 200 per 1,000, or 200 per 600. If you really go into the other states and you look at the areas, okay, and that's 0.00003.2%. That's what it is. If you look at our country in crimes, that's around about 0.2. Okay. So, what can we learn from the EU gun statistics? Violent crime goes through the roof. Blah 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 blah. Okay. So, if you look at it in the United States, you've got 300 million, so you got roughly 1,100,000. So you roughly got a 3 in 100 chance of getting murdered, or getting robbed, or getting burgled in the US. Depends where you are in the US. But if you're in the UK, 2,066 per 100 per 100,000, times that by 22 million. So if that is 60 million, you roughly got 11 in, or so you've got 11 in 3, or you've got at least 2 times likely. Or if you have this 3, you got 1.5 times likely to get robbed, or get killed, or stolen from, or having anything taken from you, or whatever, killed on the street, whatsoever. That's what it is. So, boiling it down, let's have a look at history. History has a really big history to it, and a really big truth and morals and statistics and scientifics and other things to it. So let's go to right, democide. Democide. Have you ever looked at that? Democide. Right, a democide. Okay. This is going to be the last part of it, but I probably would have to improve on my statistics and various areas so I can really pin it down to you and say, well, hang on a minute. I've gone through the statistics, I've gone through the facts, I've gone through the histories, I've gone through that, and various other things. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Okay. Over the past 100 years, 300 million people have died at the hands of their own government. Okay, so that is 4.6% of the world's population. 4.6 of the world's population. So you would say around about 4.6 over 7 billion divided by, so you roughly got at least 7/4. Yeah, you roughly got 7/4. Yeah, you roughly got 7/4 of the population. If you look at it in a statistic, is 4.8 over 7 billion. So you look at it. So how many sevens into? So you got 1. So how many sevens you got into 4.8? So you got roughly 8. So you roughly got 8/7 of the population of the whole planet. So you got 8/7 of the whole of the planet. Right. Okay. If you really boil it down and you look at it in fractions, you really look at it in statistics, and roughly, if you really divide that by years and whatever. So that is 1/4 of the population of 1.2 billion Chinese, and also you've got at least 4 or 5 times greater than the population of the UK, and you've got at least 300 to 315 of the population of the US, and that is from. And also, if you look at the Swiss population, their population is low by 5.7%. They've got at least 4,000 crowns per 100,000 per year. So you got at least, if you divide that as around about 480 crowns per 100,000 a year, which in a country in 8 million. So if you divide that by 12, so you got around about 38 per month. That's from a country that's the highest amount of gun ownership, all up, and you got all the others, and you got every single thing. You got armored redoubts, you've got mountains, you've got roads that have caves in them, and you have borders. And if anyone comes in, or if any immigrant comes in, or anyone comes in, or if like they were the only country that wasn't invaded in 400 years, by the way, if you look at that kind of scenario. And that's one in 3, because like there's a country of 8 million, so you've got at least 6 million. Yeah, so 1 in 3. Yeah, so you've got 1 in 3, so you've got 8 million, you got 6 million, so if you put 8 over 6, so you got 3, so you got 4, so you got 3 and 4, so you got 1 in 3. So that's what you've got, 1 in 3. That's the ratio at the moment. So, what do you think about gun ownership? Do you think it's good, or do you think it's for bad? Do you think it's for any reason? Do you think that the state should have a clear monopoly on guns? Do you think that the state should have the supreme power over the people in regards to monopoly on information, monopoly on health, monopoly on rights, monopoly on the future of our children, history, the past, yeah, the past, the present, and the future. Do you think that they should have a monopoly over that without some sort of moral judicial oversight? Hmm. Think about it. That's something people should think about, because if you don't really understand your future, you don't understand the past because you don't understand the present. Because if you're going to say, well, all that's going to be the present, okay,